So you see this boy standing with a knife and red stuff on it, and you're just gonna stand and look at him? You're not gonna go see what's going on? What happened? You're just gonna look at the boy. What even just happened? Are you breathing like that? Girl, you don't feel somebody staring at you? That's Mikael Myers. Is no one in this town aware of their fucking surroundings? What are we talking about here? There you go! Hey you guys, welcome to Kima's Never Seen It. I'm Kima, and today the movie we're going to be talking about is Halloween. In the spirit of spooky season, I am dressed up as Rick James.
Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
I've done this costume before, once in the past. It's one of my favorites that I've done, and I mean, I don't think it's too bad. Also, if you have never been here before, I take movie suggestions on movies I've never seen, which is basically every movie ever created, give a quick synopsis of what they're about after I watch them, and then give my opinion. Will my opinion differ from yours? Probably, but if you've never seen this movie, I'm gonna put a big spoiler alert right here because we're about to talk about it. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into what this movie's about based on the DVD cover summary. 15 years ago, little Michael Myers brutally murdered his older sister in cold blood. Now, after escaping from the confines of a mental hospital, he's back to relive the grisly crime again and again and again. To start off with the movie, we're going to Haddonfield, Illinois, October 31st, Halloween, 1963. Now, our point of view is someone who is outside watching the inside of a house. Inside the house, we see these two people. I'm assuming they're a couple. They're kissing. They move it over to the living room and they're kissing and stuff. And then they head upstairs. You know what they're about to do. Again, our POV, the person who's watching actually ends up going inside through the back. They go in the kitchen and then end up grabbing a knife. So already I'm just like, what is happening here? As that person's in the kitchen, we notice the man come down. I'm assuming the boyfriend. He comes down and he's about to leave. Again, pretty quick, but I digress. And when he leaves, the person who POV we have goes upstairs. They go upstairs. They see there's a little mask on the ground. They put the mask on, and the girl who's up there, she's just, brushing her hair after everything, turns around and yells Michael, and that person proceeds to stab and kill her. Then after he does that, he runs out the house and meets his parents who had just driven up, and he's just standing there with a bloody knife just looking out into the distance. And again, this is a little boy who just did this. So that's just a little interlude to the beginning. And now we're going to skip to 15 years later, October 30th, 1978. We're in Smith Groves, Illinois, and there's a man and a woman driving in a car. The woman is a nurse. It looks like she has her little outfit on. Smoking in the car, by the way. Wild, but whatever. And it looks like they're on their way to, I'm assuming, some kind of hospital. The man in the car is talking about a specific patient, saying how he hasn't talked in 15 years. And, that's why he's in there, but he wants to go and check on him. And when they get up to where they're supposed to be, there's patients just walking around aimlessly outside. I'm assuming this is some kind of mental hospital, and I don't know who let them out, but they're just outside. So the man gets out the car because he's going to walk up and try to see what's going on. And when he gets out, of course, the nurse inside the car gets attacked by one of the patients, and he takes her car and drives off. And that's, again, how that scene ends. And now we're back in Haddonfield, but now it's Halloween, 1978. We get to meet Lori. She is a high school student who looks like she babysits on the side. And we get to meet the boy she's going to be babysitting tonight. His name is Tommy. They're walking in the same direction. It looks like they're both walking to school. Lori tells Tommy, oh, I have these keys. I have to go drop them off by the Myers house. She drops off the keys. Everything seems fine. But when she turns around to leave, there's someone in that house looking at her. Even the little boy was just like, that house is scary. That house is haunted. You shouldn't be going up there. But she's just like, don't listen to rumors. It's okay. Yeah, okay. And I do apologize. This movie kind of goes back and forth between different people. So I'm going to try my best to keep it concise, but I probably won't. So now we're going back to that man who is in the car. His name is Sam, and turns out he's a doctor. Now he's upset because, again, there is a patient that escaped with the nurse's car, and they're just wandering around aimlessly. So he's trying to talk to people and be like, you got to find them. You got to find whoever escaped. There's people out on the loose. This is not okay. And then back to Lori. She's in school now. She's in a classroom listening to the teacher, and she looks outside for a second, and she sees a man across the street in a mask. She looks back a couple times, and he's still there. And then she gets distracted by something in class. looks out the window again, and he's gone. And also at school, little Tommy's at school now, and there's a couple of kids who are bullying him, talking about the boogeyman's gonna get you, he's gonna get you tonight, blah, 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 and trying to scare him and stuff. But Tommy's just like, no, there's no boogeyman. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, little Tommy, the boogeyman's at the school. So back to Lori. Now she's walking home. She is walking home with her friends Linda and Annie. And they're basically just talking about, school dances, what they're going to do tonight for Halloween, all this kind of stuff. Just normal, girl banter. And as they're walking home, we see that man again, but he's in a car this time. And again, mask. And again, see, when I watched this movie and I noticed how much this masked person was popping up, it pissed me off because I was just like, no one's paying attention to their surroundings. No one knows what's going on. But then I remembered it's Halloween. People pull pranks and do stuff like this all the time on Halloween because it's just an excuse. It's Halloween. So I had to calm down. But he's lurking. So the girls go their separate ways and Lori gets home, business as usual, just goes upstairs, about to shut her window and stuff. And she sees that man again. He's just popping up everywhere. And again, I know this is Halloween. I know, but this is just too much. Back to Sam, the doctor. He is now at a graveyard and there's a man escorting him to a specific grave. When they get there, they find the grave plot, but the headstone is gone. And it's a headstone for Judith Myers. Who is Judith Myers? Can only assume the sister of Michael Myers, who killed her 15 years ago.
Judith Myers. She came home.
All the pieces are coming together. So then Sam goes to a scene of a crime. It looks like someone broke into a corner store and he finds a sheriff and says, hey, I'm going to need your help with something. And as he's talking with the sheriff, we see that masked man drive by once again. Sam and the sheriff go to the Myers house, which has been abandoned. No one has lived there for years, probably since the murder happened. No one has lived there for years. They go inside and they start talking. Sam is talking about, I met this little boy when he was 6 years old. He would not talk. He just disassociated with everything. And now we can't find him and we need to figure out what's going on. Quick pause. This monologue that Sam has, when I heard it, I realized where I recognized it from. The Boondocks referenced this in one of their episodes. I'm pretty sure it's a smoking with cigarettes episode where Riley is with that boy who likes to get in trouble and stuff. I had no idea, but the more I watch these movies, the more I see references and other things that I have seen. It's great. I've been loving this, guys. But anyway, Sam said that he's tried to get him locked up forever. Made sure he was always put away and stayed away, but now he's out. So now they got to figure out what to do and how to get him. Now, later on in the night, Lori is babysitting Tommy and her friend Annie is also babysitting across the street. She's babysitting a girl named Lindsay. Now, the masked man, he's lurking outside. But he's mostly looking at Annie's house, or the house that Annie is sitting for, looking through the windows, standing in doorways, doing all this stuff, extra, just looking around. Now, Annie gets a call from this boy. His name is Paul. And he's basically just like, come on, girl, come pick me up so I can come over and we can do what we gotta do. And she decides that she's gonna take little Lindsay over to Lori so she can watch her for her, pick up Paul, bring him to the house she's sitting for, and then they can do what they wanna do. Annie drops off Lindsay with Lori. So now it's Lori, Tommy, and Lindsay all in the house together. And Annie goes back to the house to go drive to go get Paul. But so now she's gone. And Tommy decides to look out the window to see, if he can see anything or trick-or-treaters or anything. But he sees the masked man, the boogeyman, carrying Annie in the house. And in the background, Sam and the sheriff, are stalking around the neighborhood to see if they can find any movement anywhere, just any kind of signs or anything that this masked man or the patient they're looking for is out. Now, Linda comes around with a boy, I'm assuming her boyfriend, and they come to the house that Annie is sitting for. They are just like, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to take one of the rooms and we're going to do what we want to do. There's a lot of sex in this movie. Anyway, they go inside, they notice Annie isn't there, and they call Lori and they're just like, hey, do you know where she's at? Lori tells them, she went to go pick up Paul. She'll be back soon. So they take that as a sign to go upstairs and do their stuff. So they go upstairs. They do very quickly, mind you. There wasn't a need for a cigarette after that session, but I digress. And then the boy, I don't think I remember his name, but he goes downstairs so he can go get beers, come upstairs, and they can continue on with their night. He's downstairs, he's getting the beers, and he keeps hearing like, things shut or different noises, and he's looking around thinking it's Annie, but Annie isn't who he finds. So now he's gone, and the masked man decides to go upstairs, have a sheet over his body, but have the boy's glasses over him so it looks like he's the guy just playing around. Well, apparently that's enough distraction for Linda to just be like, okay, whatever. And then she calls Lori again and is just like, hey, have you heard? Or she's going to say, have you heard from Annie or anything like that? But her call is interrupted because the man takes off the sheet, chokes her out. So now she's gone too. Mind you, Lori's on the phone hearing her getting choked out, but she doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know if they're messing around on the phone. She doesn't know if they're in the middle of having sex and trying to be funny. Like, she doesn't know what's going on. So she takes the kids, puts them to sleep, and now she's going to go investigate. She goes into the house. It's dark in there. There's nothing really going on. It's dark in there. And she goes upstairs and she goes into a bedroom. When she goes into the bedroom, she sees Annie's body laid out on the bed with Judith Meyer's headstone on the bed over her. She backs up. She finds the boy swinging upside down from a closet. And then another door opens and she sees Linda dead in there too. And then she, again, is freaking out and trying to get out of there. But she finds the one and only Mr. Michael Myers. Now there's a chase throughout the house because he's trying to get and kill her too, I guess. And she gets out of the house. She's screaming for help, trying to knock on neighbors' doors. They're shutting their lights off. They're closing their windows. They don't want nothing to do with that. And she gets back to her house and the kids open the door and let her in. But unfortunately, there was like a window or a door that was open. And guess who gets in that door? If there's a will, there's a way. And Michael Myers is going to find a will and a way. But he tries to stab Lori, misses, and she ends up stabbing him with one of those, I think it's like those letter things that they have to like open letters. I think it's one of those. So she's just like, great, killed him. Let me go upstairs. Let me get the kids. She gets the kids. She's just like, I killed him. Let's get out of here. No, Michael Myers is right behind you, babe. So now she throws the kid in a room. She goes to hide. He still finds her, but she takes a wire hanger, stabs him in the eye. Again, she thinks, I got him. He's dead now for sure. But duh, he's not dead. Still not dead. Not dead from a stab to the neck or a stab to the eye. Also, he didn't make any noise when these things happened. The only noise he made throughout the whole movie was heavy breathing, but never like talking or grunts or anything like that. Interesting. But of course, he's not dead. He's trying to get Lori again to kill her. But somehow Sam, as he was lurking throughout the streets, I guess he hears the rustling or he has a suspicion. He goes in the house, sees Michael and shoots him. And Michael ends up toppling over the balcony, falls down. And now he's got to be dead. So then after Sam shoots him off the balcony, he goes over and goes to, see his body laying on the ground. But guess who isn't laying there? We don't know where Michael Myers is. We don't know where he went, but he's gone. And that's the end of the movie. This movie got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I will say, I don't agree with that. I think this movie should be rated so much lower. I don't think it was a great movie. I really don't. Like, I can understand maybe Michael Myers being a staple character, and maybe in movies after this one, I can understand more and maybe like those more and like the development of the character. But I just don't understand. Like, I understand there's some crazy people. People do things without reason all the time, okay? I get that. But like, was sex his trigger? Did he hate women? What I just didn't get it. Like, I didn't really enjoy this movie because I just didn't understand like what this was all for. But hey, I could be in the minority on this. I'm sure there's a lot of people who love Michael Myers as a villain character, who love the Halloween movies. So let me know what you think. Do you think it's fairly rated? Do you think I'm stupid for wanting to rate it lower? Or are you on my side? But But that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for tuning in this Thursday to come and watch. If there's something you agree with, disagree with, you want to say how good I did, or you have any movie suggestions of movies I can watch in the future, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, tell everybody you know about my channel. And don't forget to follow me on social media. Kima's Never Seen It on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and Kima's Never Seen on Twitter. And it would not be one of my videos if I did not express my appreciation and gratitude for you tuning in to watch this video. I mean it, guys. I really do. I've been enjoying this so much, and especially for spooky season, for Halloween season, me watching all these movies and seeing people dress up as different characters within these movies and me finally understanding it, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. And I appreciate everybody giving me suggestions, and thank y'all. I mean it. Like, thank you so much. But that's the end of my video. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you back here next Thursday. Bye.